The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. Line. The broadcast is now starting.
All right, just had to unmute myself. Good afternoon, traders. Happy Wednesday. It's a snowy Wednesday in Utah. I've been holding off to see if it would get a little warmer and nature would go ahead and take care of my sidewalks and driveway. It's not happening. More snow's coming. I got to go make room. My afternoon consists of shoveling. Excuse me, still fighting off a little something. It's almost gone, it seems, but a lingering cough. I will be your host. Hi, LK. Good to see you. It's quiet. It's quiet out there. I need you guys talking. A little light. You know how it is. Market pauses. Everyone gets a little nervous. The market looks great. Looks great. Welcome to the live trading room, stocks and options closing bell. I am Scott. I will be your host. Here's my background. That's wrong. I'm going on 25 years this year. Apparently, I gave it to both my kids before they left. They're both sick now and super. My daughter especially, she started school. My boy doesn't go for another week, so he's fine. He can just sit miserable in his house. Supposed to be a high. He's in Billings, Montana, if anyone's out that way. Saturday is supposed to be a high of -8. A high of -8. Whew, insane. Here's the disclosures. And there we go. Let's get into the market and see what we think about it, what we like, what we don't like. I'm still bullish. If anyone wants to get a gander at my posture, it did drop as I expected it would from this week to this week, about a half of a point. Where did that come from? Volume. Where and that's expected. I'm not concerned about that. Volume sitting around zero. As long as the trend stays intact and the other elements are intact, we don't need volume. In fact, I want volume to be somewhat tepid so that if there's like all of a sudden a surge in selling volume, it'll stand out and I'll be like, oh, crap, look at that. That's not good. Short-term trend stays good. Volume ticked down a little bit. Major market analysis. The surge of strength in the small caps is what allowed this to move. It's still there, but it's in question, right? We want to see if that we've got 5 sectors where we're willing to trade. Technology, communication services, still strong. Industrials, financial, still strong. Consumer discretionary, still strong. A little bit. And the hedge signal. Let me just jump straight to that. The hedge signal. Look at that day today. Now the buyers are really looking to close this thing down. We're almost back to the all-time high, 477.5. We're right there. Okay, but here's what was setting up on the VIX, and we'll see that it's still setting up. Even though the market is, the SPY is up 0.7, the VIX is not down at all. In fact, it's actually up a titch. What's my concern there? Well, you know my concerns are, look at that fancy pink. Very nice. That was a higher low. I took a half a hedge, closed it down pretty quickly, made a little bit of money on it. Can I get a whoop whoop for the first hedge of the year? Getting some profit. Was only half a hedge, but okay. Now what? Well, now we have a second one. And you can see from the highest points, this line never really gave out. But if you were to look at bodies, the bodies here versus the bar escalation, and now as it pulls back, it's not pulling back. This is potentially a higher low. So if tomorrow the market pauses and we have another doji, and then on Monday the market starts to drop and this thing turns, that's a hedge. If tomorrow this thing starts to turn, that's a hedge. It's a higher low. It's confirmed. That's it. I'm in. I was looking at the 451 in February, standard February 16th, 451 strike. This morning, they were about $1.25. Let's see where they're at now. In a nice place. Mark says, I didn't pull the trigger yesterday on the Qs, messed up. Now I don't know. My chase signal is the Heiken Ashi. If I think I missed the initial entry, but I can still catch the first momentum candle, I'm good to go. But it's got to be the first momentum. I can't take anything past that. So if I were to pause just for a minute here and pull up the Heiken Ashi charts, yesterday it's tough. I mean, this is a bigger body yesterday to be the first momentum candle. This is the second. You're a little behind for me, but if you do a continuation trade, use the Heiken Ashi to try to find a tighter stop. More concerned this time than I was last time that we're going to get an escalation where this chick kicks up to 16, 18, like it did back here. You can see we were at 12. A week later, we were at 20. That's the concern, is that we're going to escalate like that. So yeah, I would get a full hedge this time. I have a little bit more bullish on this time as well. I'm still bullish. For this to regain its score, I need it to get all eyes. I'll probably leave it where it is at a 1.25. As far as the market posture changing, as of now, it looks like it's probably going to drop another quarter of a point, but that's not much, and that's not enough for me to be like, oh no, the sky is falling. I'll be 6 is very bullish. I can live with that. That's my take on the market. I'm bullish. Until I am convinced otherwise, I'm bullish. Now, let's look at some other things here. What's happening on Yatu? Oh, yeah, beautiful today. Pushing. I'm surprised. You can see even the Russell got to positive. Oil started positive, now it's down 1.5%. What does Stella think? Indeed, we're going to go see. What else? Apple hit with third downgrade of 2024. Stocks edge higher and countdown to inflation data. I'm okay with that. AI-powered robots that can be your bartender. I definitely want an AI robot tending bar at my house. I don't know if that's cost-effective, though. Why retailers are upping their sales estimates. Bonds were paying nearly 10. Now it's time to sell or hold. They'll do even better if interest rates come down. Okay. I don't think we're going to have plunging interest rates. I think they're going to go. What is happening in economic news? We have CPI tomorrow. 3.2 or lower, the market's going to be fine. It's only if it's above 3.3. Market is closed on Monday. Nothing on Tuesday, and then we get some sales, some production, utilization, beige book, etc. Let's see what Stella thinks. Stella's a little behind. She says it may go up a little more, but she's looking for the higher low and the drop to a lower low. So she's probably in line with the hedge. And look, if this is what comes, I will be, locking in some gains. I'll be tightening some stops. I'll be thinking about the hedge. And if that's what comes, I will be ready for it. But she says maybe a couple more days up before we have a down. All right, we're high on the addition to the hedge. Yeah, not opposed at all. QQQ. And you might be thinking, in light of your bullish posture, I'm a trader. I be water, my friends. I be water. NASDAQ looks quite strong, a little bit more to the upside, and then Russell too does not like the Russell. I don't know where that's coming from. Bullish spread on the IWM? Maybe he shut that down. I don't know. Let me know if you know. And let's look at the Dow. The Dow's definitely had some strength as well. A little bit flat. So it's kind of a mixed bag overall. Let's look at the seasonal. I don't think I reloaded this week. Let's see. Here we are. What do we tend to get here? A bit of a drift. Maybe this is a down move that's a little bit more exacerbated than normal. If that's I'll be looking for that. Mark says Vlad thinks IWM is topped out. Won't go bullish till it takes a bit of sideways action, a bit of indecision in the second half of January. We'll see what it brings this year. Here's our heat map. Energy is down. We're okay with that. There's some red in healthcare. Same. AMD. Oh, I'll tell you what. I picked Intel and AMD, not NVIDIA. I think you guys know that. But I also Amazon and Home Depot. So I've got some good pieces of this green today, but I don't have that. AMD seems to be topping out. Intel actually failed and already took a small loss on that one. Let me know what you're trading. Some in communication services, a good amount in technology. Financials are a little more iffy, but I'll tell you what, for me, financials are where I think signals are developing right now. So we'll look at that. FedWatch. Tell me if I'm missing anything or I haven't discussed anything that's worthy of discussion. What are we looking for? Nothing on January. That's coming out here in 3 weeks from today. First 2024. No expectations other than possibly some insight and verbiage changes. If we didn't get the first cut, it's almost we're at 93% probability that at that point we'll have at least the quarter, if not even a half of a point. Okay. And then got the first, so nothing in Q1, and then got that first cut in May. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little more conservative in my aging years. I don't know. Bob, you made it. I sent you a text. I don't know. Did you not get it? Yeah. Okay. What does June show us? And June shows us that we'll definitely be at that. I don't know. They're in June. They're looking for a third. I don't know. That's a lot. That's aggressive. Now let's get to the quiz. I was waiting for Bob to do the quiz. He's here. Let's go get to it. Okay. Little bit of pullback. A little bit of pullback since we topped out here. So does this trend continue? Do we bounce one more time? Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay. If you want to be an A, you're going to need this thing to close at or above the previous high. I'm going to go right at the bottom of this little basing pattern here. Okay. So 476.5 or below. C. 476.5. So not quite a full dollar, but pretty close. You're a B. If you think it's going to turn around and the buyers are going to close this thing down, okay. Dennis is an A. He's feeling bullish. Mark is a C. He thinks we're going to pull back. Yeah, give it to me. How many do we have in here? Okay, numbers got up a little bit. LK is a B. Bob is a B minus. Is this going to sit right around this level? I'm going to go B. A little bit below. I would go around 477.20. John is an A. I'm not going to say for what. Koo is a B. Good to see you, Koo. Stella. All right, Stella. I feel like she's been a bit grumpy still to start the year. She's been iffy on the bullishness that I've had. We've had some disagreements. Okay, she says that's it. We've topped out 590. Oh yeah, she's down here. She thinks we're coming all the way back down. Oh, look at that. Starting to kick in already. Or not. We'll see. So she thinks we're heading back to the 50 period moving average. In this case, it's a 250 minute average, meaning 50 times the 5 minutes. So 250 minutes. Basically, it's a 4-hour moving average. It's been playing well. You can see every time we've gotten near it, we've bounced off of it. Again, before we move on to the watch lists, my concern with this market exists in the VIX. Although, interestingly, we're flat for the day. Managing profits and taking profits on bullish trades, just kind of watching the consolidation, thinking it's not going to be much of a consolidation. I would love to give that 1/4 point back to the VIX on my scoring. That would nullify the drop from volume and keep me at a sale. All we can do is adjust and continue. So, okay, let's get to the watch list. We'll know at 8:30. You're not wrong. I won't see you guys till Friday, but when we get that first, let's pause for a second. That's a good call out. Let's bring that up here. Here's what's happening at 8:30. CPI. And the number for me, and let me know if you agree or disagree, but the number for me is here. Year over year, not the core, year over year CPI. Last month was at 3.1. We're actually already priced in and have expectations. If you just go and say, what's the average inflation rate for the last 20 years? 2.5. So at 3.2, we are not that far from 2.5. And I would say at 2.5, the Fed they're not going to dink around with interest rate cuts and hikes when it's sitting around 2.5. That's good enough, right? Maybe they examine some liquidity policies, but not the interest rates. PI. I think it's not. I think oil is in PCE, but not CPI. And it might be in PPI. It might be in the producers because they have to ship. Okay. I thought that's right. So if we come in at 3.2, I think the market will sustain. I don't think that will cause selling. I don't think anyone's like 3.2. The Fed's gonna keep the rates higher longer. I don't think so. If we come back at 3.1, continuing to fall despite everything else that looks strong, and that gives the Fed the ability to go ahead and keep that schedule. Again, I don't think no matter what that we're going to see the probability for the January 31 meeting shift. I just don't see that happening. But in regard to the March meeting, the March 20 meeting, then yeah, let's bring it back a bit. They don't want to see things stall out, and we keep hearing about companies are going to start lowering guidance. The other thing that's not on our economic calendar, but you better be aware because coming up here on Friday, and that's kind of the kickoff. I still defer to Alcoa. Alcoa is announcements in your management plan. Quiz the crowd on expected number. Curious. I say 3.0 market source. I actually think 3.1 or lower. 3.1, we're up 1% or better. Okay. I'm gonna say if we come back at 3.1 or better, we're up 1% for the day. If we come back at 3% or better or lower, we're up over 1.5%, and we really have a big, strong push. I agree with that. But let me know if anyone else disagrees. Breaking all-time highs, indeed. Absolutely. 3.2. I think we could be anywhere between minus 0.25% and 0.5% up. If we go 3.3, I think the market drops, and that really kicks expectations to Q2, and we see a significant shift in the probability factor of seeing a rate cut in March. So will be interesting to see if Jamie Dimon's still a hard landing guy when he reports. Jamie Dimon, what the hell does he know? I never. It's on record. I never thought it was a hard landing. I thought as long as employment stayed strong, we would sustain. It did. We are. Maybe I could still be wrong, but at this point, it's already been a soft landing. If whatever comes next would be something new, it wouldn't be as a result of what we've had, right? I mean, you still have people who are like, the yield curve inverted. It inverted in November of 22, man. Like that, but all of that. Okay, let's get to our watch list and let's see what we're thinking about all of this. Where are we? Apple. I mean, Apple's got a lot of work to do. I have to give me a higher low, but realistically, I would like to see it break into. I'm looking for anything other than that. I'm most likely going to spectate. But interestingly, there is a bit of a breakout signal coming on Google, so we'll talk about that. AIG. I dropped Aflac. Aflac was just not holding up. Out of the two, this one, in my opinion, looks substantially better. This is now the one I would be. This is one I did. Now what? Selling some, and then seeing what happens. I still think we have a chance to break through. So didn't get the NVIDIA, but got a nice piece here. Amazon, got some, holding. Amazon, we got nice confirmation as we broke above this high. That's a great looking signal there, right? Great looking signal. It's at or near, so I might still take a piece of it, but I'm still feeling pretty bullish that we can get a little bit higher. Anybody in any of these as I'm talking about them, let me know. AXP setting up, plenty of time before earnings, so it's not a trade now. But if this thing pulls back, I like anywhere in this range, to be perfectly fair. That looks good. I'll be ready. Be patient. Let it come to me. BK, nothing there. Earnings are coming out, so be careful. Financials are where we're seeing a lot of trade signals, but with earnings, you're going to be you got to be careful. This is another one. It's an old friend that I liked. Gave us a nice little engulfing turning signal there. Looks good. Maybe still has a little bit of upside. Watching closely. This actually gave a bit of a signal. It's just kind of stalling out. I would be very reluctant to carry that forward. BX, like AXP, I would still consider this a viable signal. It looks pretty close, actually. And you have time before earnings. Citigroup, no time. The trade setup looks great. Maybe we'll be able to take something coming out of this earnings announcement. But as of now, 2 days before earnings, not much you can do there. Caterpillar gave a signal Friday, and then, of course, on Friday, profit-taking probability will go up a little bit for me. COF, nothing there. I like AXP better. COP, I gave it a shot, gave it all back, and then got rid of it. Oil, terrible. Costco, that was a great one. Good entry signal here. Looking good. Breaking to new highs. Gotta love Costco. Oh, that was another one of ours. I liked this a lot on Monday. Beautiful. No, Friday, I mean. Friday. We talked about this one on Friday. Beautiful entry. Beautiful trade. Somebody's got to be in CrowdStrike. CSX. That's a maybe signal, but I don't love this setup. I got to say that as of right now, for me, I like UNP a little bit better in the way that it looks and the way that it's. Carmen wanted to let me know she is a C. It's on record. It counts. I count it. DAL. Clearly no impact on the airlines. I wasn't sure. I didn't end up taking any of these. I mean, I saw it, but with that whole Boeing, you never know what the impact would be. Here's another one I didn't take. Oh, I feel better about it now. Earlier today, Akamai, I believe, is semis. DIA, not really. ENVX, tried, failed, nothing there. Fastenal gave a signal here on Monday. Would have tested your merit early in the day, but definitely would I short ENVX? Oh, good question. Let me see. But this looks good. Still has some room. I mean, it is a lower high. I would have liked to have gotten in earlier in the day today, but it does look like it has some downside opportunity. Akamai's cloud services, got it. Fastenal, we looked at. GE, you're welcome to anyone trading GE for me not taking a trade on GE. I would have jinxed it. I'm a GE jinx. I actually am surprised I didn't jinx it just by putting it on my watch list. But Bob, I'm assuming you have something on here. Oh, you already took some. Okay. Would have been an interesting one on that second day. Good signal right there. Boy, that could have really stressed you out. That could have been a very stressful day when it opened and engulfed, then it recovered and came up. That's one of the days where I just hope and pray that I don't look at it during the day, because it's hard not to be influenced by that. Am I right? Don't do it. Yeah. I won't. This is on my do not trade list. Gold also on that list, but it does look, this is where it's like, oh, the trend, it looks good. It's setting up down here. If I take this, it's gonna break down. If I don't, the rest of you may have a good trade on your hands. We'll just leave it alone and see what happens. Up 40%, rang the register. Too worried about tomorrow. I get it. On Google, got it pretty well. About halfway up on Monday. I'm just doing well. IBM, still nothing there. ICE, I did not, and I felt like I was regretful, and now it doesn't look so good. Intel, I took it and then shut her down. It's just, yeah, I don't want to play with it. It's not IWM still holding. If this thing, I don't need it to break this hot. If it from right here, I mean, it looks, yeah. JP Morgan, just like Citi, it looks very strong, but we have earnings coming up on Friday. That's going to put a damper on it. KKR, iffy. Financials, day. Confirmed definitely early Friday. Looks fantastic. I hope at least a few of you have a piece of Meta, because that was just a beautiful setup and signal. No earnings, no predicaments. Took some today. Love it. Pressure. Getting out while the getting's good, but I still think there could be some. Love that. Microsoft, okay. I've told you I've been waiting on Microsoft. I want Microsoft. It's like my champion, but it's been nothing until now. Now what? Now we've broken the consolidation. Looks like we're going to come up and complete this cup. And if it stalls and then pulls back, handle also is higher low. Not as interested in Netflix. It looks like it might have the same kind of a signal, but it's looking like it's dying on the vine. NVIDIA, strong. I don't have any. I just didn't like that signal, to be perfectly fair. It was just kind of complex cup and handle. So, okay. Any thoughts on that? If you're in it, are you starting to think about some scaling strategies? Let me know. I would expect that would be the case. Picard signaled, and then it's stalling. It hasn't failed. I don't think it's failed, but it's definitely really close. Like if you don't get a Heiken Ashi confirmation, I would be looking to, stop not below today's low, but below yesterday's low. For tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. Where's today's low? 45 below that. Puts us around 93.60. Yeah, something along those lines. I think that makes sense. PNC, no, nothing there. Candles. The Qs, it's trying. I would love for the Qs to get at least one more day, and it's probably going to back out that. It's probably going to back out that hedge. So, yeah. RCL. I never took this one. I'm a little bit iffy on it. It looks like this could be a shoulder, head, shoulder, maybe. But if it comes down here and breaks, yeah, I could see something like this starting to develop. I probably wouldn't trade bearishly until I saw that, though. I definitely think this stock may be better suited as a $80 to $90 company. And so that would probably give you at least a couple of opportunities to catch that on its way down. I don't know. We'll see. SMCI. I did not catch that one. Crowd was the one I took instead. They both were equally good. Great signal. Sitting on the 50. Great move up. Would I be getting out now? At least of some. Let me know if you have a piece of that. Snap. I'm starting to pare to this down. Yeah, we thought we could catch some more of that. Maybe. But it's definitely finding some resistance at its previous level. So we'll see what happens. SPY. Okay. So SPY. Oh, yeah, we're down a little bit. We tried to bounce. It's stalling out. Right now we're the C territory. Who's my C's? Where's my C? Mark. That's it. Mark's looking for the solo gold today. And it's being tested again. Okay. Interesting. Okay, now let's talk about Carmen as well. That's right. It counts. I am not meaning to not give you that credit, Carmen. Mark said the same thing. He said Carmen came in late. I'll share the stage with her, of course. You would be lucky to. Carmen is amazing. Okay, let's see. What do we have going on here? Let's get my date back where it's supposed to be. Get the adjustment on. The adjustment still looks fine if you had it, because this is still in the right. Anytime you're near the ideal spot, even if you have two of these, it's going to be in a good spot. But this looks great. This looks just fine. Quite honestly, because this trade doesn't have much more time to adjust, I would probably look to shut this down sometime this week. But looks off here. 478. Let me get this. 475. Yeah, that theta looks off. There it does. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think if I can push it, I'm going to try to push it a little bit. We'll see what happens with this one. I'm not going to let it get above, I would say, probably 478.5 or so, and I wouldn't let it get below 473. Just keep it in this range now. And I still am thinking about this. This is the diagonal spread. It's in a great spot. My short doesn't expire till the 19th. That's next week. So I'm going to see if this can move up a little bit more. And if it gets up into this area here, then I'll be able to roll. And I'll probably be able to roll from a 478 to a 480. So I get a little more time and I get a little bit more premium So we'll play with this diagonal spread next week a little bit more and see what happens. Let me know if you have any questions about any of those, and we'll get back to the watch list here. Not a lot of new trades right now. And those few things are in a sector that are a little bit iffy due to earnings and upcoming earnings. UBS, it's kind of plastics has turned. Price action, maybe waiting for a little bit more. This may give final confirmation early tomorrow. Plenty of time before earnings. I like UNP. UNP looks good. Here's the VIX, which is very interesting because all of a sudden, even though the market is off of its highs, the VIX is at its lowest point for the day. So it's a little skiwampus. Yeah, it is. It's I don't know. It's down at the lows still, basically. Yeah, it actually was up when we first started, even though the market was at its highest point for the day. So there seems to be a bit of a lag occurring here within the context of the VIX. Wells doing much. Earnings are in 2 days. Yeah, there's really nothing there. Walmart. I actually think that was valid. I didn't take it as this thing because what happened? Well, we broke out of the consolidation. We got a if someone took that trade, I would be like, yeah, I get it. That looks tradable. Biotech is looking pretty strong right now, but it's also looking a little bit overextended. XLB materials down a little bit, still overall holding up on its trend, but it's starting to feel more than a pullback. And that's concerning. And you'll notice that a lot of volume is occurring. It's a funny thing, though, because it's like you have a bullish candle here, bullish candle here, bullish candle here, and it just keeps on dropping. Okay. Communication services looks great, very strong. We love that sector. Energy, nothing there. Financials looks good. Overall strength. Industrials looks good and looks viable for a potential entry. Technology looks good. Had a pretty good sized pullback, but we are seeing the buyers come back in. Staples, nothing really there. Utilities. Why could I not add this symbol? XLU. Utilities, not that much there. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. We've got a few minutes. That's the watch list. Not a lot of trades in financial related, which is a bit concerning because we are definitely coming into the earnings season. So what am I missing? What stuff? Apparently we have a winter storm watch, 4 to 6 inches of snow coming our way. Okay. Well, we may have to call it a little early and give you guys 10 minutes back today. Let me take a quick peek here. Oh gosh, there it is. It broke. That's how it's giving back the profits. Yeah, you can. Although it's trying to stabilize. Can it do it? Yeah, you know what? I'm giving it up. I'm giving it to the C's. Congratulations, you smarts. It may come back, but I'm awarding it now. I don't think it will. You never know how buyers come in late in the day, though, right? As I speak, it's going. Yeah. C's, you win. You're great. Everybody else, you know the drill. We put our head down in shame. We think about what we did wrong and we try to do better next time. I'll be back on Friday. And on Friday, we're going to have a very interesting discussion about what the CPI numbers were. Then we'll also be able to discuss what the PPI numbers are, how the market's reacting, and what we're going to do about it. That's my story. Everybody's a little sick. It's kind of a cruddy way to start 2024, but you know, we're gonna muscle through it, no problem. I hope to see everybody on Friday morning. A little different, but not much. And as always, happy trading.